What's up, everybody? You're listening to another episode of the SignatureCAST, where we talk bodybuilding, business, and everything in between. I am joined by Ifbb Pro. Proud to say my coach, Jess Falborn, is in the house for the third year in a row. The crowd goes wild. So, guys, if you don't know what this is, it is that time of year again. The Olympia prediction video is happening right here, right now, and we're going to hop right into it. As you can tell, I am highly caffeinated, very stressed, but we got to get this done.
Okay, deep breaths. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. We're not getting on stage.
Are you sure?
I'm a little bitter about it, but we're not getting on stage for this Olympia.
Very sad.
But
maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
We'll see. All right. So, guys, Mr. Olympia is coming up. It is, I believe, the 10th to the 12th of October. So we are just 13 days, 13 hours, 33 minutes, and 36 seconds away from the Mr. Olympia. So we are super, super excited about that. But let's go through some of the divisions. We'll click right here, see who the qualified people are.
So let's back up real quick.
Oh, I'm sorry. See, it's the caffeine.
Last year, it was in Orlando.
Ooh, that's right.
This year, it is back in Vegas. Yeah, I mean, I don't love it being in Vegas. I get why they do it there, but it's back in Vegas, and this time it's at Resorts World, which I have never been to, so it should be pretty fun. But yeah, Thursday will be the press conference and meet the Olympians, and then Friday is when you have 212, women's physique, I think figure, I believe men's physique is that day as well. And then on Friday, you've got open, classic, bikini, and wellness, I believe. So back to Will. We're going to pull up the list. You're pulling up the qualified? Yeah,
the qualified list. So let's see. Which division would you like to start with?
I say we finish with open.
Okay.
Men's open. So why don't we start with, let's start with classic.
Let's start with classic. Interesting fact about classic. How many people are qualified now?
64.
Wild. Look at this. Look at this damn list.
I looked at that. Last year it was 30 something. I don't know how it doubled.
Yeah, how did they? Someone's getting greedy.
Right? Well, okay, so here's the thing. For people that don't know, you can only qualify for the Olympia now, currently, by winning a show, winning an Olympia qualifier show. In the past, this was like 2 years ago, and before that,
the point system?
It was a point system, so you could accrue points. However, now you have to win a show. So a lot of times you'll see guys and women will do multiple shows, win multiple shows, and essentially like take spots away from other people, but they usually do it for the checks. So last year was like 30-something guys qualified in Classic. So this year it's double. So that could be a product of maybe last year more guys did multiple shows and took away spots, or this year there were more shows.
I think it was a combination of both. Yeah.
So the Olympia's earlier this year too. And there were some qualifiers right after the Olympia last year that were still in 2023, but qualified you for 2024. So,
well, here let's go top 5.
Yeah.
Just because I mean, it's going to get wild, right?
Yeah. So we could talk about who won last year. Or we know who won, but the top 5, 10 from last year, and then because we're not going to go through all of these guys.
Yeah,
and
it's just
got on my phone here in case people are wondering why I'm not texting. I'm just looking at all my notes here. Okay, so last year, Classic, obviously Chris won.
Yes.
Ramon was in second. Urs was third. Breon was in fourth. Your boy Terrence was in fifth. I'm going to go up to 10th.
My boy. This one over here. My boy Terrence.
I'm going to go up to 10th because there's some interesting stories with some of the guys that were in the top 10 last year. 6th was Michael DeBoule. 7th was Wesley Vissers. 8th was Mike Sommerfeld. 9th was Vahid Badpay. And 10th was Jae-Hoon Park. So I believe I don't know about Vahid. I don't really know who he is, but I think everyone else is qualified for this year. So who do you have? I have Chris taking it again.
I agree. I think Chris will take it again. I believe. Here, let me give you my top.
Your top.
Let's just go top 3 because I think that's a stable thing.
Okay.
And then we go from there. I think everyone knows it's going to be Sebum. It's going to be Wesley. And then most likely Ramon. But I think Ramon's third placing is the first one that could potentially be taken from him. anyone. I think it's a wild card spot now because I think the class itself, the quality of these athletes over this past year has just increased like crazy. So I don't think it's like a fight for 4th and 5th. I think it's a fight for like everything after the top 2. Okay. And then that being said, I want to double check that it's him. I just want to shout out one individual athlete, and I think it's Stefan Matala.
Oh yeah.
Is he? I'm going to double check. I'm going to just look on my
last year.
Yeah. Stefan.
He's Mr. Unchained on Instagram.
Let's see. Yes. Okay. This dude's physique is unfreaking real.
He hasn't posted an update since then. That was 6 weeks ago.
So like I think he is someone who could like
he's definitely
hit top 5 and just wreck what everyone thought was going to happen. And then also the other shout out, I can't remember his name. He won the Toronto Pro that you were in, the men's class physique, and that was his first pro win. I can't remember his name, but
Toronto.
I can't remember his name, but he was also phenomenal. So either way, I think there's a couple of wild cards that are going to come in and really shake things up a bit. But that's my top 2 for sure is Seabohm and Wesley. Now I will say this, and this will be my wrap up for a classic. I think
Neil Darwin.
Yes. Yeah. Let
me see. Oh no, I was just looking at
the
results.
I will say for classic that do I believe that Seabohm will win? Yes. But if there's any person who could somehow do it, it would be Wesley.
Oh, yeah.
Just because he has, like I've said for years now, I've been a fan of Wesley since before he was even into body, like even a name, right? I was following him on YouTube like 5 years ago. I just love his golden aesthetic stuff and everything, classic bodybuilding, and he's so eloquent with the way he speaks, which is really cool. And that Dutch accent is super sweet.
Okay.
It's cool. I'm fanboying.
That's a massive crush.
Right?
It's okay.
Hey, Wesley. But the cool thing is I met him the first Olympia I went to, which I think was Sean's, or the first Olympia I went to, or maybe it was the second one. I think it was the first one, yeah, in Florida. And that was his first Olympia. And he had no line.
That's right.
No nothing. And I talked to him, super nice, sweet guy. I was like, hey, man, you're awesome. Keep doing it. And finally, because like if you look at the whole lineup, I don't know about the 60, but like what's happened in the past, you can look at all of them. And if you really, truly think about a classic bodybuilder, he's the person you look at. Because he's got a wider waist.
Yes, that's the only knock on you.
But I don't think it's a bad thing. It's like that is what most of those classic guys did not have mega small waists. They were like the Arnold physiques and the like Frank Zane was competing in the Open, but I mean it was only the Open then. But like why am I forgetting his name? Colombo and not Palumbo. A lot of those guys back then, long story short, Mike Katz, all those guys, they didn't have the smallest frame, but they moved their physique to make the illusion. Right. And I think he does that really, really well.
Yeah, he does. I think if anyone's going to push Chris, it's going to be Wesley.
Yeah.
Also, you and I were talking about this on the on Tea Time last week, but there's a lot of talk that this is Chris's last Olympia.
You think so?
I think
I thought so last year, and then
but then I don't know. I mean, now he's part owner in Gymshark now.
Daughter.
He's got his daughter. He's got nothing left to prove.
Yeah.
And he's about to be 30. He also has some of those lingering health issues that he's
do the Open,
right? Yeah.
Duh.
So I mean, if anything, like maybe that'll be his swan song.
Yeah.
You know, but I think he's coming to the end of his. He's on the tail end of his career as a classic physique, Mr. Olympia.
Sure.
And Wesley is someone that is going to push him this year. I don't think it's a question of whether or not Wesley's going to beat Chris. I think Wesley is going to beat Dino because he beat him at the Arnold, obviously. I have Urs still taking 4th.
Okay.
And I will say this about Dino. This is the first, or shouldn't say the first year, but last year he didn't post a lot of physique updates leading up to this year he's posted a lot of physique updates and he looks very good. So I think that speaks to like his confidence as well.
Sure.
A couple wild cards I did want to mention. So we were just talking. See, again, your boy Terrence is not doing it. Logan Franklin, he's back in.
Yes, that's another one. Yeah,
can't wait to see him. He's another I really like his physique.
Me too.
A lot. Brian, I mean, you and I were just talking about this. Like,
Brian.
I don't think he can come back. Although this is the best Brian I think we've seen in a really long time. He just did an interview saying that he is going to win back his title. And his evidence for this was he's the only other guy on stage who beat Chris 6 years ago. So
it's not
years ago.
bad thing to say, but let's just live in reality.
A couple others. Mike Sommerfeld, he took 8th last year, and he was right behind Wesley. He looks pretty good. He just posted, there were some videos. He trains out at Dragon's Lair. So he had posted some videos posing with Dino out there because Dino's been out there. Michael DeBoule, he just won a show and he always looks really good. And there's a few, there's a Justin Batterina. He's an Aries nutrition athlete.
Okay.
This is his first Olympia. So he still has to fill out a bunch, but those are some interesting storylines within Classic. All right, let's move on to a women's.
Okay,
division.
which one are we moving to?
You want to talk? Should we go women's physique? Let's
go women's physique.
Yeah, let's get women's physique out of the way.
Out of the way, jeez, someone is salty.
I'm a little salty, but no, honestly, in my opinion, this is not
a much more digestible list, though.
Yeah, so it's I think it's 15 women. I think it's still going to be the Sarah and Natalia show.
I agree.
So we know the storyline from last year. Sarah came back and beat Natalia after Natalia beat her the previous year. And I think Sarah's going to continue to bring that conditioning.
Yeah, I think it's going to be wild.
Yeah, I think also, not to mention, like, we know politics plays into this, and she's such a great ambassador for the sport. Whether you like how she does it or not, she is in with all of the people that make decisions. So let's not ignore that. The woman who took 3rd last year, Zama Benta, she's the long name there. She's from Brazil. She just won the Texas Pro, where coincidentally Sarah put up the money for the women's physique.
Yes, you were talking about that.
Actually gave her award.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, I think Zama, if anyone's going to push Sarah and Natalia, it will be her. And then outside of that, we always talked about Evie Ryan, and she has announced her retirement, so she's not back on stage.
Oh, she was my favorite, remember?
I know, I love Evie.
She was so awesome.
Yeah,
she's like a mom. I think she has 2 kids. She looked incredible.
And she won the Masters Olympia.
That's right. I guess that was probably her, like, all right, I'm good now.
That was her swan song. That was it.
Shout out to Evie, you're awesome.
Yeah, right. Let's see. Jeannie is not on that list. Jeannie didn't win a show this year.
What about Sharonica?
So Sharonica, she won New York Pro. I think she's still too small, honestly.
Okay.
And that's a lot of the feedback that she's gotten. Like, she has a great structure and frame, and her posing's really beautiful. But I don't know. I mean, this is not a deep lineup.
Yeah,
so it's got some women on there that, like, I don't think are that competitive. They just won some of those early shows that had no one in them.
Yeah. And a lot of it, too, is I think, this is with all the divisions, there's a reason why, like, the top 2 are the top 2.
Yes.
And there's usually a very steep drop off. Yes, thank you, to, like, the 3 and on. So, and Natalia and Sarah, it's going to be a battle between them, too.
One other interesting story here, Anna Harrius, she won back-to-back shows, the Atlanta Pro and then the Chicago Pro. So I'll be interested to see. This will be her 2nd Olympia, but this is the 3rd Olympia that she's qualified for. And the 2nd Olympia that she qualified for, she qualified based on points. So this was a couple of years ago. And she chose not to go to the Olympia that year because it was like an integrity move. She was like, no, I'm only going to go if I win a show. So her first Olympia, she won a show. I think it was like her pro debut. And she went to the Olympia. The year after that, she qualified on points. She was like, nope, I'm not doing it until I win a show.
I would have went.
And, same. But, I mean, I don't know. I guess her dreams are just far grander.
Yeah, hey.
And then this year she won Atlanta and Chicago back to back. And she did Chicago because she had already committed to it, even though she won Atlanta. So
to wrap up, we agree it's Sarah and Natalia's show. Everybody else, sorry.
Zama will give them a run for their money, and she'll probably hang on to 3rd.
Very cool. All right, I think we should move to men's physique.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because
this is an equally big list. 62.
62. Okay, well, I'm just going to say I sent a message to Ryan Terry.
You just did?
Yesterday, because he is in the States.
Yeah,
he's in New York. Yeah. And he spent some...
He got goobed.
What do you mean he got goobed?
You know goob.
Yeah, what happened with that?
Ryan Terry got goobed.
He got well. All right, let's get to the goobing in a second.
Yeah.
Just to say, I wonder if this will totally mess up what I'm about to say. He was like the nicest, sweetest guy.
He is.
He came to the gym. He spent like 3 days training here last year, which was incredible.
We did a podcast
we
with
did a
him.
podcast. His whole team was awesome. So I sent him a message. I was like, hey, I saw your stateside. If you have any. Inkling to come to Signature Fitness. Our home is your home. We want you to win that second title. Because he was like super nice. But back to the tea. Is this tea time part 2? Why was he goobed?
So he was at Bev's recently.
Like, you mean like yesterday or the day before?
I think so.
Because he just came to the U.S. like 2 days ago.
Yeah, so I think it was just
Okay.
in the past few days. And listen, like I don't think this takes away from how he looks on stage. The fact that he's Mr. Olympia, nothing can take
where's
away
this
from
going?
that. But he edited his photos. He pulled his waist in and he edited his delt cap. Like you guys can look at Goob's video.
Oh,
on it.
that's what you mean.
Yeah, he got goobed.
Okay, good. I thought it was a goobing, like, Goob gets into some wild stuff.
No. This is not a comment on his character. This is not a comment on him as an
So he did some
athlete.
editing.
He did some editing. And honestly, like, I don't personally give a shit.
I mean, because at the end of the day, he's going to be on the stage and people are going to see what he
And
looks
you're
like.
exactly.
And he won. So, like, it's.
Yeah, so whatever. But
Now I
like,
have to look here.
Yeah, it was
Is this photo still up?
I think it's like one of the most recent. There it is. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't. I mean.
Oh, wait. There is some. Hold on a minute. This one looks normal. This one looks obviously fake.
Yeah.
Like, I think he did this on purpose.
You know what?
Because this isn't just like a slight one. His hands are like minuscule.
Right. Yeah.
I think this was done on purpose.
I mean, perhaps, but.
Because look, it even says a few, sorry. The caption is a few raws from today's antics down at Bev's gym.
I mean,
With a caption like that, like.
Either way.
I'm defending you, Ryan.
Either way. Yeah.
You're my boy, Blue.
Listen, I don't personally care all that much. I will say, like, the reason that Goob called him out is like, dude, you're Mr. Olympia. You don't have to do that. You already won. You already proved you had the best physique in the world.
Yeah.
Physique. So, anyways,
Very interesting, though. Very interesting.
I think the only thing here, and the only thing I heard was that Ryan has had a challenge with making his weight cap. I don't think he won't. But I think that's if there were to be a challenge that like I've heard on social media and stuff, it's that it would be challenging for him to make his weight cap.
Yeah.
But I could see him still hanging on to his title.
Well, obviously, we got Aaron Banks coming back, which will be a big fight there. I mean, he is, correct me if I'm wrong, a previous Mr. Olympia.
2 years
right?
ago.
2 years ago?
Yeah. He's also he'll definitely be the biggest, like the tallest guy.
Yes. That is the
stage,
Aaron
or
Banks
at
I'm thinking of.
least-
Yes.
Him and Corey Morris, they're both like really tall dudes. And Corey just won the Arnold UK.
Do you have any other stickouts for you?
Yeah, actually. So Diogo Montenegro, he won the Arnold US.
Okay, yes. I was there for that.
He has not been on stage since then, so he's very well rested.
Okay.
I think he could be in the top 5. I think maybe even up around like 2 or 3. Ali Bilal, he won Pittsburgh and New York this year. He's from Iran, but I actually first learned about who Ali was when I was at the Sharu Classic in Delhi 2 years ago, or last year rather, doing the commentary. Thank you.
Yeah.
For the show, he was on stage there and he won. And I have to say, or he's from Afghanistan. There you go. He has a crazy physique. I think the only thing that might be missing there is like his back a little bit, but he has a crazy physique, so that could be really interesting.
It's such a tough category to like judge because, and even for those who are in it, like even they'll admit it's like, it's almost like, well, what flavor are they looking for today?
Yep.
Do they want a little more mass? Do they want a little more tightness? Do they want a little more flair? Do they want a more bulky? Like, and you see that even from show to show. Like, the gentleman, what was his last name from Brazil? I think he was from Brazil that won the Arnold.
Montenegro,
right?
Diogo Montenegro.
He was a bigger guy. You can tell he was a bodybuilder who moved down into classic.
Probably.
I'm sorry, into men's physique. And if he wasn't, either way, he is huge, right? I'm still shredded and everything. So it really depends on what they're looking for. I was so happy last year when Ryan won just because he had been trying for so long.
Yeah.
And he had multiple, I think it was 3-time Arnold Classic champion. So I think he has a good shot of taking it. But if there is one category in all of probably the Mr. Olympia, either only second to bikini that like anybody could win.
Yeah, I agree.
Like not to say that this is the bikini of the men's division, but yeah, it kind of is, guys. You got to do your legs.
It is. But I mean, the guys that win and do well actually
they have
fill
legs.
out their
Yeah,
shorts.
they have legs. Cool video. He actually put up. Gymshark, I believe it is making his trunks. Ryan's, yeah.
Oh, cool.
And he's literally like, we've gone through like 14 iterations and sizing, like, because he'll get them sized because they're not right. He'll lose a little weight and he's not right. And like, he literally did his last fitting right before he left.
Smart.
Which is really cool. He's like, you guys think I'm crazy, but it's in the details. And I'm like,
It is.
very true.
It is.
So,
yeah.
number one, what do you think? I think Ryan Terry.
I think Ryan Terry. I think Diogo and Ali could be a toss-up in 2 and 3.
And then what about? I think Aaron will also be up in there.
I
in there
think
as
Aaron
well.
might be. It depends on who he comes in. He
Yeah.
won in Dubai this year, but last year he didn't do so great.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he'll be in the top 5. I think Emmanuel Hunter could be in the top 5. I think Corey Morris could be in the top 6. And then you've got some like random guys that like
from all over.
Like the number 2, the second guy up there, Isai Kasek from Indonesia. I looked him up. I was like, holy crap. I think he's a little too big, honestly, but like his delts, his arms are a little bit too big for men's physique. But because I was just curious, I was looking at some of these guys. He has
Holy moly.
Right? Some of these guys from Asia.
Why isn't he competing in classic? Look at this
Exactly.
guy.
I looked at him. I was like, is he classic? But like, no, he's.
Wow.
Look at him. Yeah.
Wow.
So he's from Indonesia.
What's in the water in Indonesia? I
Right.
got to go there. Hello.
Look up Chris Putra.
Oh, my Lord.
Yes, look at him. I think he's too big for men's physique.
That's an understatement. Is he like 5 foot nothing?
Right? He's got to be my height.
Dude.
But his biceps are like
His
Sean's
shoulders and
biceps.
arms are. Okay. Anyway, who else am I
Yeah.
looking at? I'm sorry.
Chris Putra. I don't know what his Instagram handle is, though. But that could be an interesting one as well. I just think like he's not someone that I didn't know who he was, but he's known for like this crazy, very like flare pose.
Yeah. Very interesting.
If there's a posing video,
I'm trying
it'd be
to
interesting to
find.
see it,
Is that a
but-
video? That's a video.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't, look him up, Chris Putra on Instagram. His posing is just different, but you know what? Whether you like it or not, it gets people talking about him. They pay attention.
Very
to him.
interesting. Yeah. Very
So
interesting.
These are just like, if we're looking at a list of 63 guys, 62 guys, like they're all good. Like you said, it could be anyone's game.
Yeah, this will be an interesting one, actually.
Yeah.
Very interesting. All right, next
Anyways,
division.
let's go
Where are we
back.
going to? Women.
Women's bodybuilding. Let's go.
Women's bodybuilding.
This one's going to be fun this year.
Miss Olympia.
So,
bum, bum, bum.
We know Andrea won last year, Andrea Shaw. She's a multiple year Miss Olympia. And she's always been pushed by Angie Ayo.
But Angie,
But Angie just
she
beat her.
took the dub at Wings of Strength.
Yep, Angie just beat her at Wings of Strength, which is like the Olympia light for women's bodybuilding.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. Well, it's or like it's kind of like the Arnold for them because
Yes,
there's no women's bodybuilding.
the
in the
Arnold,
on the
yeah.
Arnold.
And I think Andrea has the shape. Angie's always had the conditioning.
Yeah.
And this year,
It's gonna be a fight for
Angie
them
brought
to-
the conditioning and the shape.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be a fight. Like I think Angie could take it this year.
Yeah, I think Andrea is going to be pushed harder. She knows now,
She
but
knows
like
it. She knew
she's
it
also the type of
afterwards.
person now that like because I got to talk to her a little bit with Sean, and her and Sean have a very similar mindset.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, she probably took that loss and is like, oh, you mother, I
Yep.
want to destroy you at
Yep.
the Olympia.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
And
I think it's
even
going to be
in her interviews
wild.
when she came off stage. She was like, she pretty much said she got me on conditioning. She got me.
Yeah, she
so-
and Angela, her coach actually, Brandon is a member here at the
Yes.
gym, and he had showed me some of her like progress. And actually, shout out to Angela. She came to Signature. I met her. She's a very sweet lady.
Yes.
But she is a fucking
workhorse,
wild physique too.
Insane genetics, but like a crazy work ethic.
Yeah.
Like she earned that. She looked phenomenal. I think she's going to take it this year.
Now, is Teresa Ivanchik the one I always talk about every year? I think it is. I'm going to double check. on the Instagram. There's too many names to remember. But
You always talk about Michaela.
oh, Michaela
Aycock.
That's right.
But
that
pull up
is
Teresa
right.
because I think Teresa has a really beautiful physique. She's
Oh,
still very
I follow
feminine.
Teresa. No, I think Teresa's got a very good shot too. She just doesn't have the conditioning.
Conditioning. That's where she's.
Yet. She's got the shape for sure.
Yeah. So, she.
That's right, Michaela Aycock.
Yeah, Michaela Aycock is who you're thinking of.
Yeah, well, let's see what she looks like if she has any update ones because she is someone who's
Michaela looks nutty. She's got.
she's just gnarly beyond. You think
crazy
Angela is freaking conditioned?
Yeah, I think it's just that like Angela also has the shape.
Yeah.
And Michaela's dense, but like I don't know if she doesn't have the shape that some of these other women do.
No, yeah, but man, is she gnarly.
Gnarly peeled. Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
whew. Okay, well,
Yeah.
I think she'll definitely
She's gonna be in the top 5.
and she'll throw a wrench in the mix and kind of mess with everybody's plans and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But yeah, you're right. She just doesn't have. There's a level of like prettiness that needs to still be in the physique with men and women.
Like aesthetics.
Like thank you. That's the word I was looking for. There's an aesthetic factor that she just doesn't have. But in terms of like, she looks like Andreas Munzer used to look.
Yes.
Very wild.
Yep.
So all right. So top 3. Who you gonna go with?
Well, there's 2 that we didn't touch on.
Go.
Ashley Jones,
Okay.
who won the New York Pro, and that was her women's bodybuilding debut.
Ooh, yes, I remember that.
Really, really phenomenal physique. So she came from women's physique, and she was a women's physique Olympian.
I wonder what her Instagram is.
I forget what her Instagram.
Oh no,
was.
who am I thinking? Or am I thinking of the Toronto winner? Who was the one that was like?
At Toronto Pro, that was Ava Malillo.
I think that's the one I'm thinking of. That's who I'm thinking
pro
of.
debut.
Ava,
Toronto
yeah.
was her pro debut.
Ava's physique was so impressive to me.
Yeah. So that was her pro debut. And yeah, she did.
She won't win the Olympia, but she will
No.
definitely.
She's the future of
Yeah. She looked incredible.
Yeah, she looked great. I think
Nice
she'll be
cappuccino. All right.
definitely be. I think top 7 or 8.
Yeah, like perfect structure for women's bodybuilding.
Yeah, and she has a lot of room to
grow
fill
and
it out.
yeah, very cool.
Ashley, and then Ashley won New York. I think she will be top 5. And then I think Christina Mendoza. I have a girl crush on Christina. I think
Okay.
she's like so beautiful. I love her structure.
It's not just you, Wesley. Okay, she's got one too.
Yeah. So
Oh yeah, I have a girl crush on her too.
Right?
She
She's
is. She was here. She
Yes.
was here too. Yeah, I remember she was doing the Stairmaster. Yeah,
Christina
she's
was here.
gorgeous.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I just love her posing. I love the flow of her physique.
She stole that from you. Just saying.
Stop. I think the only thing that she had qualified last year for the O, but didn't actually end up competing.
Okay.
And I think the only thing, I don't know why, but I think the only thing that could hold her back would be just not getting conditioned enough. Not that she's not conditioned, but compared to
You know
the
what?
women that
Well, you know what I really like about her physique though? It's very athletic.
Yes.
Which is great. Like it's not. It doesn't seem like a blocky.
Correct.
She still flows very. I think that's what you're kind of getting at. She
Great
flows very
lines.
well.
Yes.
She's still like extremely feminine, but like all like the perfect amount of line. She looks like a person who can't do women's physique
Correct.
because she's just like structurally just too big.
Correct.
But she perfectly falls into women's bodybuilding. Like this is not a knock on Andrea or Angela or any of those, right?
No.
But this to me is like that's women's bodybuilding.
Correct. I agree.
Like it
I've
is
always said that about Christina.
It's the perfect level of femininity and muscularity and still being like a badass on stage.
Like I actually do think Andrea and her have very similar physiques.
That's true. I think Andrea just also has that freak genetic factor where she's like
Way more bubbly.
shoulders and bubbly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
very cool.
I think Christina is going to do very well this year.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Okay.
To
Men's. So we're gonna go to what next?
212.
212. Oh boy.
This is why we are going to the Olympia.
Sean, my
see
boy.
our boy.
You better take back that title. You gonna take back that title, Sean?
All we want is Sean to take back that title.
Oh yeah.
We know he's been working.
Yeah.
So Sean.
Did you hear me say yeah?
Sean has not posted a lot of physique updates.
No.
Except for
I've seen them.
We've seen
though.
them. Close friends have seen them. I think this is the best Sean we've ever seen. It's just going to be a matter of has Keon improved? How much has he improved? and what the judges are looking for.
Yeah.
But we know that Sean's only knock last year was his midsection.
Which he has improved on, and that's his number one thing he was fixing for this year. So, yeah, because and Sean has said this in his videos. You know, he thinks he was just a little bit too big for his frame last year, so he wants to take a step back to the package that he brought when he won and just slightly improve it. So,
yeah,
I think it's going to be very, very good.
That top 2 is going to be so close.
But I think Angel, once again, Angel Calderon is going to be someone who's knocking at the door of both of them. And then from there, there's a few, but like, for example, like Ahmad Ashkenani, his physique is just blown out. It's just, it's too many years of training. He's kind of not going to go anywhere. I think we need to start looking at some of these other athletes.
I think Kareth is going to be up there with these guys. I think Nasser Muhammad, he came in 7th last year.
Yep.
He looks really good.
Kareth, is he the one that did New York?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Kareth looked phenomenal.
Kareth is going to do great. I think I have Kareth in top 5.
Is this who I think this is from Italy?
The guy from Italy.
Did he also compete at New York? I feel like he did.
Let's see. This guy Giuseppe Zapparella.
See if he comes up on. You guys need to have simple Instagram names, guys. That's like a tip. Like, I'm lucky I have my full name as just my Instagram. With a name like, where was it? Giuseppe Christian Zagarella. You can probably get your Instagram name. I'm just throwing that one out there. Anyway, but yeah, it's a fight for 3rd in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because Sean's gonna bring the heat. Keon is obviously. You know, just because he's won it once, now it's like this is the year. It's like he's either going to make the statement that no, this is mine for a long time, or he's going to fall off. Now, I'm just going to vote, and I hope that happens. But you know,
yeah, same.
But yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I'm excited for it. I know Sean's excited.
Yeah.
I know the whole Signature Fitness crew is going to be there. Myself, Steph, Jess, August, Amanda.
Ivan.
Don't
forget Ivan.
Sorry,
Sean's
Ivan.
training partner.
My bad. He's just got a package deal now. Wherever Sean goes, Ivan goes. They're the same. Rosangela, the baby. It's going to be a good time. So, guys, if you're in the Vegas area, definitely go to the Mr. Olympia. It's going to be absolutely awesome. All right. Do we have any more women's categories that we should cover?
We can touch on figure real quick.
Okay, let's hit figure.
I don't think anything's gonna change. Honestly, I think Sid Gillen is gonna take.
I completely agree.
I don't think anyone's gonna ever knock her out. I think it's just when she decides she's done, that's when it's someone else's opportunity.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I think Jess Padilla is still going to take 2nd. I don't think anyone's going to knock her out of that. I think Cherish, who won the Chicago Pro, has a great shot of coming in the top 5.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Being a woman in this industry, do you think, and I'll say the same for bodybuilding as well, do you think there are too many categories? Like for women's, for example, do you think we need to take bodybuilding being here, bikini being here, and do this with everything?
Yes. And would you like to hear why?
Yes, I would.
This is not a sport for everyone. Okay. Just like I would not be very good at basketball because I'm not tall and I don't have the skills. Like, you're not going to be for every sport, and so we need to stop creating divisions just to get people to fit into this sport.
I agree.
Not everyone gets to do this sport.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I know y'all love wellness, and like, yes, it sells tickets, it puts butts in seats, literally, but like, but I don't think increasing the number of divisions to allow more people to compete in this sport.
Yeah.
It's a business decision. I get it, but like, it diminishes the value of being like. It's the same argument you could make with handing out 7,000 pro cards. Like, diminishes the value of actually earning your pro card because 20 other people earned it at that show.
Yeah, you know? I think even for the men's, like, and the reason why I say, like, I'm taking the outliers and going inward, like, do I think we need to get rid of men's physique? Because there's, 3 men's classes? No, there's 4 now. 4. Right? So, like,
open,
in my opinion, like, you always need to have open and 212 just because of the sizes, right?
Yes, because they used to have over 200, under 200.
Yeah, so, but I think, in my opinion, like, we kind of take men's physique out, and we stick to classic, and then, or we just make it bodybuilding. And then now it's like, it's, you know, when you first come in, you're focusing, like, there's the height and weight cap, right? Which I think would be a good way to foster them into their divisions of either 212 or open. I think that, and also this is going to be very controversial. I would make a weight cap for open.
Oh, jeez.
Because look, let's just be real here. The physiques are getting wilder and wilder and wilder, and the death rate keeps going higher and higher and higher. Like, if we kept it to a standard of like, maybe they do the height and weight thing across the board, what you will do is, like you said, is you will wean out the people who don't have like the genetics for it.
I agree.
And the hard workers and the people who will like mold their physique correctly will be the ones to shine, which are the top 10 people anyway.
Yeah.
So just a side note, but anyway.
The thing is, they'll never do anything like that because that cuts down on the number of
athletes, of course.
And then money. So,
I know, but it's just, it's from a fan's perspective. It's like, imagine if now like
I'm not sitting through all of men's physique and all of classic physique at prejudging.
Like, that's what I'm saying. 60.
You know how long prejudging is going to last at the expo?
Oh my God, hours. 60.
Yeah, 60. You have to, and classic.
And classic, they have to do their routines, right?
Only top 10 does the routine.
Oh, okay, but still, just shuttling in, because there's usually what, 5 or 6 people
30-second little thing
on the, like, it's gonna take over an hour just to go through their individual things.
Correct.
That's gonna be insane.
And this is why they eliminated the point system, because divisions like that and bikini have so many competitors.
It's crazy,
and they're still ending up with 60. So.
All right, so we know who's gonna win figure.
Yeah.
All right, we're getting to it. The big boys, Mr. Olympia.
We got so many storylines here. All right, so we had 19. I'm ignoring this. We had 19 qualified, but 3 on this list will not be there.
Okay, let's get. Hey, it's a killer soundtrack that they got. I'm just saying, totally not. All right, so who is not coming?
So, first of all, Nathan DeAsha.
Yep, he is.
Now, his coach just said on a podcast that he has bigger plans and wants to improve after a long season. We all know that Nathan, when he won the show he won this year, he cried and was so happy. So I don't think it's that he has bigger plans. I think it's that he's experiencing, he's not able to get his visa because of all of his legal issues. So, he's formerly incarcerated, and he always has issues with getting his visa to the U.S. because of that. So that's my opinion. I've heard that a few other places too. But so Nathan is out. He doesn't have his visa. Behrooz Tabani may also not get his visa, which is really unfortunate because I think Behrooz Tabani has one of the best physiques in open bodybuilding in the world. So unfortunately, I don't think we'll see him because I think he would be here already if that were the case. And then Tonio is out. Yep. And I think a lot of people think that something happened with Tonio, but we knew Tonio wasn't going to be doing the Olympia this year, way earlier in the year. And it was just because when Justin and Tonio put Tonio on that stage, they want it to be undeniable. They want him to be competitive.
Yeah,
so
totally understandable.
Yeah.
All right, so
we've got 16 guys.
Okay, I'm gonna throw a few names out.
Go for it.
And then we're gonna pick them and go. All right, so we got these are what I think, and this is not knocking anybody, but I think the most important names. Okay, you got Derek Lunsford, Hadi Chapon, Sansom Dwada. We got Nick Walker.
Third from the bottom.
Hunter Labrada.
Okay. Who's right above Hunter there?
Oh, Andrew Jackson. The name threw me off. Yeah. And then John Jewett. And I'll say John Jewett for a reason. So, okay. Now, that being said, I'm going to work from my bottom up.
Can I throw in 2 other names there?
No. Of course you can. Don't say
Brandon Curry.
Okay.
Which, people forget about Brandon Curry.
Yes.
And then
what? Don't say Martin Fitzwater.
No.
Okay.
Rafael Brandao.
Oh, okay. I missed him in the okay. But so here's my the reason why I named those names. Okay. So John Jewett, right, is absolutely incredible. I'm not biased. This is more of I think he is a person who will push people up and push people down.
Yeah.
So I think John is going to come in. He's going to be gnarly conditioned. He's not going to be as big as everybody else, but he's going to show who should be in that top 6 and who should not be in that top 6.
Yeah. I don't think he'll be in the top 6.
No, I think he'll be 7th or 8th is my guess. Maybe. It depends on certain people like Hunter, right? Yeah. How is Hunter going to come in conditioned?
He just came in very conditioned in Italy.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? So is he going to stay conditioned? Is he going to hold on to that, right?
Yeah.
Brandon, once again, he's another one.
No one's
where does he go? He's getting older. I'm not sure. What I will say is this, and then I'm gonna let you run with it.
Okay.
I'm excited about men's open bodybuilding. I am going to put, even though I don't want him to be first, I'm going to put Derek Lunsford in first. I'm going to put Hadi Chupin in second. The only person that can take Hadi Chupin out of second, Nick Walker.
Yeah?
Yep. You heard it here, folks. Nick Walker is going to be fighting for that second place spot. He can't take out Brandon. I'm sorry, Derek. But I think Nick Walker is going to just, if he does what he's supposed to do, I think Nick is going to come in and just be like, mother, you didn't see me last year? Mm-hmm. You see what you missed out on? And he's going to go, and just like from the front, they're going to be like, okay, yeah, he needs to be in top 3. Like, no problem.
Yeah. I mean, if anyone's coming with a vengeance,
it's him. But then you have people like Samson, and you have Rafael Brandon. And just go ahead. I don't know.
All right. So a couple storylines here. I think Hadi should win.
Agreed.
He's going to have the best conditioning on stage.
Yep. Muscularity, development, everything.
His 7-week out pictures, I was looking at them, looked like he was a week out.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's going to have the best conditioning. Derek, I think his conditioning is the best it's been. Mm-hmm. I remember specifically last year when he won, looking at him and thinking he didn't even have striations in his pecs.
Nothing. His front was washed out.
Yes. And this year, his updates, he looks like he has some. He has a lot of striations in his pecs. So that's the one thing I kept looking back at.
Yeah.
Samson, we were just talking about this before we went live, but he's doing a show this weekend at 2 weeks out. He's doing the Tsunami Pro in France to qualify for the 2025 O. And we were talking about, I think this is strategic to mess with everyone's heads, for them to see, because he looks insane. His updates look great. And to prove to everyone, look, me and my wife can do this. I don't need Milos. I don't need
anybody.
Coach. My wife, even though she's a woman, she knows what she's doing. So I think he's sending a message to everyone.
Agree. And it's a chance, like we said, like he's going to like a lot of times they do a show and week to 2 weeks later, they're even better than the first show that they did.
It depends. Like some people are, some people aren't. I think Samson is.
Yeah, I agree.
And if this is just it's a quick flight for him from the UK to France, and then he comes over here. So it's tight, but I think Samson, he's traveled very close to shows before. So, and then I think Nick, the only thing he really had to improve upon was his quads, believe it or not.
Yeah.
And I think he has. So I outside of that, okay, yeah, there's really no one else that I have in like top 6. So
that's what I'm saying. I mean, we didn't talk about Andrew Jacked.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I don't know where. So Andrew,
I have him top 6.
I have him top 6. I have him possibly as high as top 5. It's just a tough one because I feel like Andrew is someone. If he gets under someone's wing that knows what they're doing in like 3 more years, when he puts on like 15 more pounds of muscle,
he needs to fill out his
he will be
even though he's massive.
Unstoppable. He's got that like Flex Wheeler-esque physique where it's like it's aesthetically incredible, but it's not as big and bubbly as everybody else's. Yeah. Like because it's just the way his muscles insertions are. But yeah, that's gonna be tough. So all right, you have to pick, gun to your head, top 3, go.
If I'm the judge?
Yeah, if you're the judge.
Hadi, Derek, Samson, then Nick.
And I will say, all right, I'm going to be controversial. Wait, is this a pick or what I want?
If you're the judge.
If I'm the judge.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not going to like this one. Okay, if I'm the judge and everyone comes in perfect conditioning.
Yeah.
Like, they're all flawless.
Yeah, that's the goal.
This is what I want for the sport. Nick, Hadi, Derek. No, Nick.
No, I want your prediction of what's going to happen. Not in a perfect world of what we need.
Okay, if what's going to happen what's going to happen is it's going to be Derek, Hadi, Nick Samson.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to see.
Nick and Samson.
That's what I'm going to see is going to happen. What I want to happen is
I want Hadi.
I want Hadi or Nick to win just because I want the 2 of those guys. I wish there could be a double Mr. Olympia winner because those are 2 of my favorite athletes.
I can't wait because Nick will win at some point.
At some point.
And I can't wait for that because I think a lot of people deserve it, but Nick has really been fighting for this for a while.
Yeah.
It's a great story.
Yeah.
You know, he's back at home with Matt. He's back at home with Raw now.
Back in Florida.
Yeah. So I just think it would be a great story. So I will be excited when Nick wins, but I don't know if this is his time.
Yeah, it's just a stacked lineup. But
and then, I mean, to round out the top 6, like I think that 6th place could be Brandon Curry, could be Rafael Brandao, could be Hunter.
Yeah.
I think Hunter's definitely improved from last year. I don't know how much he's going to improve.
And then we have wild cards like Bonac and Akeem. Like we don't know where those people throw everything off. And Raphael, like you said, and even Martin, like they think they throw things around. So
this is the best we've seen
Akeem. Yeah, it's going to be wild.
Real quick, that guy Mohamed Foda from Egypt, he
Yes.
won Chicago. Crazy aesthetics, like such a small waist, crazy physique. So he's not as big as these other guys, and then John De La Rosa, he's back. Like
so it's gonna be crazy.
It's exciting too because like you've only got 16 now, so it's not a huge lineup.
Yeah, and we'll have more time to digest every physique and everything like that. Well, guys, that's another episode of the SignatureCAST where we talk bodybuilding business and everything in between. Once again, Ifbb Pro Jess Falborn, the Falborn is in the house. Come to the Mr. Olympia. Come down to Vegas. We're going to be there. It's going to be a great time. We will see you there. Jess, thank you so much. Peace out. See you guys there.
See ya.